Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a young girl who walked everywhere. She walked to the market with her mother. She walked to school with her friends. And even when she played, she ran around and around in circles. She stopped. Why? Because for some reason she didn't like what she saw. She thought, everything about me is wrong. Everything about me is bad. And her shadow, her shadow represented everything she thought was wrong with her. So she started to run, wanting to get away from it. One day, as she was walking, the sun shone brightly overhead and she looked down at the ground to see her shadow. She ran faster and farther than she had ever done before. But no matter how fast she ran, the shadow grew longer and darker behind her. As she did, the darkness seemed to grow longer and stretchier. In that moment, she understood that the darkness wasn't hers to carry alone. It was a part of her. Yes, but only because she had allowed it to be. She knew that she could walk in the light without being consumed by the darkness within. For you see, the girl's shadow represented everything she thought was wrong with her, and in trying to escape it, she only made it seem bigger and scarier than it really was. But in the end, she realized that the very thing she feared the most was also the thing that gave her strength. And so she continued to walk, not in circles or aimlessly, but forward toward the things that mattered most to her. If she stepped out of the light, the darkness would vanish. And when she looked down, she realized that she wasn't looking at her shadow. No, she was looking at the darkness inside of her. It was as if it were stretching and reaching out, wanting to grab hold of her. The girl ran until she was out of breath, until her legs burned with exhaustion and her lungs felt like they would burst. We try to escape from the parts of ourselves that we think are wrong, only to make them seem bigger and scarier than they really are. But in reality, these are the things that make us who we are, good and bad. And it's only when we embrace them, when we accept both the light and the shadow within us, that we can truly be free. This time, instead of running away from her shadow, she walked toward it, embracing it as she went. She didn't try to deny it or push it away, but accepted it as a part of her strength. And as she did, she felt a sense of calm and peace that she had never felt before. But still she ran, wanting to escape the darkness behind her. Days turned into weeks, and the girl continued to run. She ran through fields of tall grass that tickled her ankles, and over hills that made her shadow seem even bigger. The girl had been running for so long that she had forgotten what it felt like to stop. She closed her eyes tight, waiting for it to engulf her, expecting it to be the end of everything. But when she opened her eyes again, she noticed something. She could still see the darkness, but now she also saw the light shining just beyond it. She sat down on a nearby stone, tears streaming down her face. "I'm all alone," she whispered, "and I don't know why I'm running anymore." But now something strange began to happen. As she ran, the world around her started to fade away. At first, she didn't notice, but after a while, she looked back and realized that the trees, the flowers, the birds, and the clouds, they were all disappearing. There was nothing behind her anymore except for the darkness. And so she slowed down, stumbling along, unsure of where she was going. As she sat there, the darkness loomed closer and closer until it was right in front of her. Slowly, so very slowly, she stood up and turned toward the light. But then a new thought entered her mind. She realized that the darkness existed only because she was standing in the light. So the girl took a deep breath, a shaky breath, and started to walk forward. From that day on, the girl no longer feared her shadow. Once upon a time is a time for you. And the story ends here, but the lesson continues on. Sometimes in life, we do the same thing.